Anyway, I was just sitting in my office one day, looking over some new mech armor cases, when suddenly I heard a bunch of screaming and shooting. I figured that's normal around here, so I continue my work. And in a few minutes, everything seems to settle down. Suddenly, I get a call over my intercom. Sir, there's a guy here who really wants to see you. One of my employees said, sounding as if he was being strangled. Not now, I'm very busy. But, sir, he just incapacitated all of the guards and is currently strangling me with a whip. I don't really care. If I die, do you know how much paperwork that'll be for you? I eventually saw his logic and let the man in. He was a short but fit man with a wide-brimmed hat and a long coat. In one hand, he held a pistol looking to be around the 1800s, while in the other hand he held a large chain whip, which he was using to strangle my secretary. He stopped the attack, walked to my office, and simply sat down. Hello there. My name is Van Helsing. He offered his hand to shake, but I declined. So, Van Helsing, 2 questions. 1, what's the getup? The 1800s telegrammed, and they want their outfit back. Second, why'd you murder my entire staff? And how? The man stood up. No, I did not kill them. I simply made your flying metal men unconscious. And as per how, well, no one can escape a Van Helsing. I rolled my eyes. That might have sounded impressive if I knew what that was. Now, why are you here? Well, that's a long story. A few days ago, I was trying to kill this red demon puppets thing that could jump through dimensions. However, I made the mistake of letting it live, and it was able to track me down and send me here. I was trying to find a way to get back to my world and saw on weird moving picture box that you were looking for a man named Frankenstein. In my world, I was the one who hunted this man, and thought you might be an alternate version of me, though looking at you, this does not seem to be the case. I simply looked at him. You really expect me to believe that you're from another dimension? Yes, why would I lie about this? I don't know, money, power. Look, how about we try something? I'm going to show you a few mech armors that I've been looking to take down recently. If you can tell me something close to what they are, I might believe you. I raised an image upon my holographic screen. Okay, Van, whatever your name was, what does this thing look like to you? The man looked confused for a minute, then spoke up. Yes, this does look familiar. It's a little bit more mechanical, but it does kind of look like the Gillman of the Black Lagoon. The what? Oh, a few months ago, some archaeologists were trying to find some fossils along the Amazon River. However, they were hunted down by a ferocious green fish beast. They were able to ward off the creature, and I've been keeping an eye out for the past few months. I nodded, slightly scared by how close the accuracy was. Well, that is pretty close. This is a super criminal named Gilligan Mannings. A few months ago, some archaeologists began looking for fossils near the Amazon River, but this guy came trying to steal the fossil and sell it on the black market, using his aquatic mech armor that he bought from Frankenstein. Wait, Frankenstein, he's the one you're hunting, correct? Yes, that's correct. Well, in my universe, Frankenstein was killed by his own monster, though I would not mention this to him, as he still feels quite guilty about it. What you... Never mind. In mine, Frankenstein got away with his fiancée when his mech armor attacked him. I wouldn't be too sure. If my universe truly is similar to yours, I'm thinking Frankenstein was killed. I groaned. Fine. Where was he killed? The Arctic. Right. I then called over a few of the recently recovered agents. Hi, can you two do me a favor and look for some dead bodies? Sure, where this time? The Arctic Circle. The 2 agents then opened up the window and flew off. There. You happy? Went through my files, inadvertently showing Van Helsing a few clips from former fights with mech armor wearing criminals, when I finally came across the next mech armor we would discuss. This was much larger, more tank-like mech armor, and had been one that we had already dealt with, but we were still trying to find a way to tell the public about this incident. And this one seemed to confuse him for a minute, giving me slight hope, only for him to finally come to a conclusion. I'm quite confused. This appears to look like a man from my universe, but it doesn't quite fit the theme with the other examples. Many of your, how you say, mech armors highly resemble monsters from my own world. However, this one looks like Quasimodo, a disfigured man who lived in the belt tower of Notre-Dame and died tragically. Oh, I'm sorry. You bloody nailed it. A few weeks ago, we got a call that some French guy in a large mech armor had kidnapped some French girl. Unrelated to the last time we got a call that some French guy in a large mech armor kidnapped some French girl. Either way, we found this guy in Notre Dame and began to storm the tower. The man fought us off in his tank-like mech armor as I swooped in and rescued the girl. Well, rescued might be the wrong word. The woman's name was Esmeralda, and apparently we had missed something about the case. Apparently, Quasimodo was hired by two priests to kidnap Esmeralda, who was trying to marry a police officer, some guy named Phoebus. However, Quasimodo, after kidnapping Esmeralda and realizing the priests planned to kill her, had a change of heart and had taken Esmeralda away to protect her. However, by the time I called off the attack, one of the agents had already stabbed right through Quasimodo, killing him. Oh, this is not good. I'm assuming Agent was properly punished? He was let go with pay. Anyway. Then raised another image on the holographic screen of another mech I'd been trying to apprehend. So, who does this look like? I said, fearing his response. He immediately lit up. Well, that looks like a mummy. I've fought a few of those in my time. You fought a mummy? Yes, you have mummies in this world? Well, yes, but rarely do we fight them, as they are inanimate corpses. Your world seems quite boring, to be honest. I wish it was. With all the superhumans and illegal mech arms flying around, there's hardly a dull moment. Perhaps I could meet one of these, how you say, superheroes? No offense, but I hope you don't. I'm trying to get you off my back as soon as possible, so I can get back to my real job. Tough but fair. Anyway, the mummies in my world have several unique powers and abilities, such as the ability to control sand, summon armies of man-eating beetles, and many others. Okay, well, the mech armor isn't quite that powerful. It can summon an army of tiny drones, which I guess sort of look like beetles. It also controls weird bandaged tentacle things that come out of its back. That seems quite impractical, if you ask me. Well, no one asked you, suddenly. Two agents flew through the wall. Renaissance Fair Guy is right. Frankenstein is dead. Has been for months. What? That's impossible. There have been more mech armor made by Frankenstein in the last few months than there were last year. Suddenly, Van Helsing spoke up from the back. Perhaps it's his wife. What? Well, in my world, Frankenstein had a fiancée that was killed by his monster. However, you said that he got away with his fiancée. Here? Well, yes, I did say that. Well, if she lived, that means they likely got married, meaning she would change her name and could continue making mech armors under the name Frankenstein. That actually makes some sense. You two, get a warrant going. As soon as the rest wake up, we're going. Van Helsing and I quickly prepared to lead the team of agents to arrest Elizabeth Frankenstein. Here, I found an extra mech armor in the back. Oh, no thank you. With all due respect, I was able to decommission 31 of those, how you say, mech armors, by myself, with only a VIP. They are quite pathetic. But unlike Frankenstein's mechs, these ain't exactly designed to be lethal. Just put it on. Fine, if you insist. After they were all prepared, the troops flew to the home of Frankenstein, where Miss Frankenstein was waiting, standing on the mansion's rooftop, wearing a silver-colored armor.
Ah, so you finally figured it out. Took you long enough? Ah, well, it doesn't matter. The time has come to destroy you, using the wedding gift my late husband made me.
Suddenly, her silver mech armor began to glow green and crackle with green electricity. She fired a laser from her hand, which took down several of the agents. She continued blasting the green lasers, one of which flew directly at me. However, it was blocked by Van Helsing's whip. Your whip can block lasers? Of course, it's an enchanted whip, forged thousands of years ago in the ancient city of Atlantis. Alright, I'm just gonna leave that sentence where it is. I fired a shot off my mech, which temporarily managed to disable her mech armor. Taking the opportunity, Van Helsing and I flew up to where she stood. She regained control of her mech and blasted several more shots, all of which were blocked by Van Helsing's whip. While she was distracted, I pulled out an EMP and thrust it upon the ground, causing Elizabeth's mech armor to stop functioning. Granted, it also stopped mine and Van Helsing's from working, but the threat was already taken care of. Van Helsing was able to exit his armor and started walking toward the downed foe. However, she began laughing. Frankenstein pulled a lever, and the entire mansion began to shake.
This mansion will fall, and all of you will fall with it!
I tried to fly away, but my mech armor was still not functioning. However, Van Helsing began to wrap my arm in his chain whip and proceeded to jump off the building. This madman grabbed me in his chain whip and proceeded to jump off the building. And it worked. We somehow lived. Mrs. Frankenstein obviously died, but we lived. Anyway, after that was dealt with, we were walking back to my office when a blue man, who looked somewhat similar to Van Helsing, walked through the wall. And by walked through, I mean literally phased through it. Hey, what are you doing in my office? I'm not here to deal with you. I sense some strange, multiversal energy coming from your office. Oh, yes, that would be me. I was sent here by a red puppet demon. Yeah, that's been a common issue. Dimension CO6. Universal Man then opened a bright purple portal. Just go in and kill that puppet while you're at it. Agreed, thank you. Van Helsing gave a final wave and walked into the portal.